I'm Wendy from Shiny Happy World, and in this video I'm going to show you how to add an easy knit ruffle embellishment to the hem of a skirt. This is what it's going to look like, except I think I'm probably only going to do one row on this skirt. This was just made with scraps from the rest of the t-shirt. So we're going to take the purple skirt that I made, and I cut some 1-inch strips out of the scraps. They don't have to be exactly straight, and you don't have to square off the ends. This is really, really forgiving. So we're going to take those 1-inch strips, and the first thing we're going to do is ruffle them up at the machine. Okay, I've put my gathering foot on the machine, and I've showed you in a different video how to use the gathering foot. In this one you can also just use a long basting thread and pull it up, but this works beautifully with the gathering foot. So I made my stitch length as long as it would go, and now I'm just sewing right down the middle of that 1-inch strip, and it ruffles it up very nicely. I'm not stretching it, I'm just feeding it in so it's got plenty of slack. So I've got my skirt in here. I've changed out, so I'm not on the gathering foot anymore. I still have my stretch needle in there, and I have it set on a stretch stitch. And what I'm doing is lining this center line of my ruffle up with the top edge, the top row of the hem stitch. The hem was stitched with a double needle. I'm going to line it up with the top. When I wash it the first time, this is going to crinkle up and be smaller, so there's going to be a little bit more space between here and the hem. So I just tuck that under. This is really, really forgiving. Now, I'm not pinning this. I'm just lining it up, kind of eyeballing it to lay down over that row of stitching, and I just stitch it down. And when I get to where my finger is, I stop and I lay down the next little section. Stitch it in place. It'll have a tendency to twist on itself a little bit, but it's not hard to untwist it while you're laying it down. Pull that loose. I'm almost at the end here. Now this is the nicest part. When you get to the end, lay it down, grab a new strip, and just overlap it a little bit, and sew them both in place. You don't have to join strips or do anything like that. Just keep laying strips down until you get back to where you started, and you'll have a nice little ruffly hem. And you can do, I'm going to take this out right here. Let me backstitch here. You don't need to watch me sew all of these ruffles on. But when you take it out, you've got a nice little ruffle here. And again, when it washes the first time, it's going to tend to curl up here, so it's going to be even more kind of wild and uncontrolled looking. And you can do 1 row, 2 rows, 3 rows, as many rows as you want. That's it. It is that easy to add a little ruffle accent to the bottom of your skirt. I used a matching fabric because I just used scraps from that one t-shirt that I used to make the skirt out of. But it's also really cute to use scraps from a different t-shirt, so you get the contrasting colors and you get a different colored stripe in there. I'm Wendy from Shiny Happy World. I'll see you next time.